America Before the War. Episode 1. The Calm Before the Storm. Before the bombs fell, before the world went to war, there was a nation finding its strength again, a country bruised by the Great Depression, but still alive with dreams, dance, and determination. People gathered around radios, not to hear about battlefields or bombs, but to listen to jazz, comedy, and Roosevelt's voice of reassurance. It was a time when hope was fragile, yet somehow still alive. This is the story of a nation on the edge of change. This is America before the war. The 1930s began in darkness. The Great Depression had crushed the American spirit. Banks failed, factories closed, families lost everything. Across the heartland, the Dust Bowl turned fertile soil into lifeless desert. Thousands of families packed what they could and drove west, chasing rumors of work, chasing survival. Yet even in hardship, there was hope. Men built makeshift shelters, women traded recipes for meals that could feed 10 mouths with almost nothing. Children laughed even when they had no toys. And through it all, the radio became the heartbeat of America, a warm voice in every living room, a reminder that even in hard times, no one was alone. In 1933, a new president took office, Franklin Delano Roosevelt. He promised a New Deal for the American people. And for the first time in years, Americans began to believe again. The New Deal wasn't just policy, it was action. Roads carved through mountains, dams rose from dry valleys, forests were replanted, towns lit up with electricity for the very first time. The Civilian Conservation Corps, the Works Progress Administration, programs that turned despair into purpose. For millions, a paycheck meant dignity. For the country, it meant rebirth. As Roosevelt's voice echoed through the airwaves, "The only thing we have to fear is fear itself." It felt like the clouds were finally beginning to lift. Life was still tough, but it had rhythm. The movies were booming. For a few cents, anyone could escape the world for an hour or two. Audiences wept with Gone with the Wind and dreamed with The Wizard of Oz. On-screen heroes and heroines reminded people what courage looked like. Music filled every corner of the country, from the jazz halls of New Orleans to the big band ballrooms of New York. Duke Ellington, Benny Goodman, Glenn Miller, their songs carried a kind of optimism you could dance to. Baseball gave the nation its legends, Babe Ruth swinging for glory, Lou Gehrig saying goodbye with grace. And in 1938, a new kind of hero appeared. Superman, the first comic book symbol of hope, because America, even in hardship, still believed in heroes. While America rebuilt, the rest of the world was tearing itself apart. In Europe, Hitler's armies marched. In Asia, Japan's empire spread. But across the Atlantic, most Americans said, "That's not our fight." The wounds of the First World War still burned. The graves were still fresh. So Congress passed neutrality acts, and the movement called America First grew louder. Charles Lindbergh, once a hero of the skies, now warned against joining another foreign war. But not everyone agreed. President Roosevelt watched with worry. He saw the storm coming. And in his radio addresses, he urged the nation to prepare, quietly, cautiously. He called the United States the great arsenal of democracy. The people listened, but they weren't ready to believe that another war could reach their shores. By 1940, America was waking up. Factories roared back to life. Ford stopped making cars and started making aircraft engines. General Motors shifted to building tanks. Boeing's hangars filled with the wings of war. Women joined the workforce in numbers never seen before, their hands building the machines that would one day defend the free world. Young men lined up for the draft, unsure of where they'd go, but proud to serve if called. The Great Depression had made them tough. Now destiny was about to test them again. By late 1941, America stood tall again. The economy was booming. Hollywood glittered. Families were buying homes, cars, and radios. The pain of the Depression was fading into memory. It was a hopeful time, the calmest the country had felt in years. But far across the Pacific, in a place called Pearl Harbor, a fleet was gathering. No one knew that in just one morning, the peace of an entire nation would shatter forever. This was America, before the war. Next time on America Before the War, how a nation chasing the American dream built the culture, courage, and unity that would soon face the greatest challenge in human history. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, because the past deserves to be remembered, and its echoes still shape the world today.